Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Could there be a possibility of Dillian Whyte versus Joe Joyce? Well, Dillian Whyte has given a pretty scathing assessment of Joe Joyce and his performance over the weekend over Leroy Thomas and other things. So I'll get straight into his statement. So Dillian Whyte's statement. Joyce was terrible. He's got no defence and no power. He's got a good engine and a decent boxing brain, but he leads with his head. Anyone who's a clever fighter will clip him because his head and chin are up. Throw a big overhand right or a left hook and you'll do him. If Joyce got in the ring with me, I would destroy him. Just like David Haye, Joyce is very deluded. That's why they get on so well. He's 32, he's turned pro late. He's making noise to get some big fights. Why did he stay amateur for so long? Because he wasn't good enough. He waited for the good amateurs like Anthony Joshua to go through. He just wasn't good enough. So that is Dillian Whyte's statement there on Joe Joyce. He did go into another one about Derek Chisora as well, so I'll get into that one. Chisora, he sends me messages saying, when I see you, I'll slap you. So when I saw him, as he's had a lot to say on the internet, I told him, let's go backstage and speak about it, man. Man to man, face to face. He ran behind the security, shouting and screaming, making lots of noise. He wants publicity where there's cameras around, but when you get to him face to face, he's got nothing to say. So that was Dillian Whyte's statements on Derek Chisora. So, is there a good possibility that Dillian Whyte versus Joe Joyce could happen? Now, of course, a lot of this, he could be referring to the fact that Joe Joyce is calling out fighters like Derek Chisora, for example, and Big Baby Jarrell Miller. And for whatever reason, these other fighters don't want to fight Joe Joyce. And it could be because he's only had 4 pro fights, so a loss to him would not look good on the resume. It really wouldn't. But Dillian Whyte, he's saying, listen, you know, if you want to go, we'll go, I suppose. And if you get in the room with me, then I'll destroy you. And I could agree with Dillian Whyte for some of the things that he's saying here, where he's saying that his defence is pretty shoddy. It is. And he does leave himself open. So anybody who's actually going to come to fight and put it on him could quite well chin him. Really could. But ultimately, who knows? Maybe he's got an excellent chin. Don't know. Why has he turned pro so late? And that was one of the questions that I asked to start with when he first announced that he signed up with Haymaker and turned pro. It was a case of, well, why did he wait for so long? You know, I mean, it's not really good to turn pro late and then have to try and rush everything in before you hit your age of thinking about retirement. Because some fighters pretty much retire at his age right now, right? Some. So it does seem that Joe Joyce, he is being fast-tracked. That's no surprise. David Haye and Richard Schaefer did say that Joe Joyce would be fast-tracked. So him calling out the likes of Big Baby Jarrell Miller is very impressive, no doubt about it. Maybe they knew Miller was going to turn it down. Maybe people just don't want to fight Joe Joyce because, as I said, he's only got 4 fights in, and a loss would look bad. It would be embarrassing for them. So maybe that's why they don't want to do it. Now, obviously, Dillian Whyte, he's got a couple of options right now. Does he fight Luis Ortiz, or does he wait for the WBC to come up with a solution? Or does he just ignore the WBC now and say, look, you know, you've been messing me about. Now I'm going to fight Kubrat Pulev to become the IBF mandatory. So he's got options, and it's unlikely he's going to fight Joe Joyce. But if he did, you know, he's pretty confident that he would smash him to bits. But anyway, drop your thoughts below. Do you think that Dillian Whyte and Joe Joyce, do you think that would be a good fight? Do you think it's a fight that they should possibly look at this year? If Dillian Whyte doesn't get a title shot this year, maybe just fight Joe Joyce as an interim weight? Is it a high risk and low reward for fighting Joe Joyce? Maybe. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. So anyway, that is Dillian Whyte's statement on Joe Joyce. And hopefully you've all subscribed by now. Click that thumbs up, drop yourself a comment, and I'll catch you in the next video.